Welcome back to the studio. So tonight I thought we would paint a whale jumping out of the ocean. This happens to be a humpback whale. They come to right by Morro Bay Rock in the town where I live, Morro Bay, California. We see them breaching out of the water like this all the time. They look fantastic. A lot of fun to watch. You can go out and see them. I've quickly sketched it out here. And we're going to fly through this. This is going to be good. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to, as I'm mixing up some stuff here, we get a lot of cloudy days in Morro Bay. The cloud comes down, the clouds come down real low, the fog comes down really low, and you can see in my picture the fog is so low in here that you can barely see some of the rock here, not a whole lot. So we're going to paint everything basically from here up, really wet, and when we get up to the top, it's just going to be mostly nothing, mostly fog, a lot of nothing. I'm going to get a big brush to do this. This is a, I don't know what this is, a Princeton number 10 brush. Okay, we're going to get a lot of gray, just a little blue in here. We're going to rub this on. And I'm kind of doing this backwards a little bit. I want the top to be the lightest. I put a little bit of color on there, but I know what I want my lightest to look like. And I'm going to set that, and then we're going to go down from there. And I'm going to paint on top of what is Morro Bay Rock here and everything, just because I want it to get the feel of being in this fog. So even though we can still see it, I want to have a little bit of this gray color right around it. Good, look at that. Good, and now I'm going to mix up just a little bit of a brown gray here. Good, that's good, look at that. Let's see, can you see that? I'll move this over a little bit. I'll move this over a little bit, and you can see I'm going to put some gray in here. Now this brush happens to hold a lot of water, so I am going to be drying it off. And we're going to come back in and just laying in some color here for Morro Bay Rock. Careful to keep our whale nice and white. This would be a great application if you were an artist who used masking fluid. This would be a great application, or a great time to do that. I don't use masking fluid. I've tried it a couple of times with limited success. I just don't find it all that appealing. And I don't think it's all that hard. In most things, you take a little care to be able to preserve your whites and keep your whites white, and then maybe you don't even need the masking fluid. There we go. This just goes up into our fog, into almost nothing. I'm going to put a little bit more color down here. I've got a little bit of puddling along the edge here. I'm going to dry my brush real good. Just roll just onto the edge, and that'll soak all of that off of there. That's really good. And just tap right in there. Perfect. Alright, so now for my water, I'm going to blue this gray up. Yeah, actually, it's going to be about the same, I think, when I'm done with it. This seems like a pretty foggy, overcast day. I don't want to do too much with that. I'm just going to flip this painting over, and I'm going to, let's see, go right in there like that. Good, good. Good, maybe even a little bit more Payne's gray than that. And again, I like to mix my own grays, but I think today I'm going to stick with the gray that's here. Let's see, there's the whale's fin actually right there, kind of at the water line. And yeah, it looks just kind of like a figure sitting right on the water there. We're going to fix that. I'm going to get a little bleed down from our rock here. That's going to totally be fine. Let's see, I want this edge to be darker dark down here. There we go. That's better. And we'll fade it up there. Okay, before I do much of anything else, you know what I'm going to do. Get the blow dryer out. I'm going to give it a shot. We're going to dry this off real quick. Okay, I think we're dry, and you know what I just discovered? I actually have two pieces of paper here. I thought my paper felt a little funny. I didn't realize. I was like, it's the right thickness, but it felt funny, and now I found out it's my son's practice paper, or my daughter's practice paper, and that's why it feels so funny, because it's actually two sheets and not just one sheet. So I'll probably get in trouble for that at some point. That's fine. Not going to worry about that. Okay, I just want to, oh boy, what to do. You know what? I don't think I can resist too much. I'm going to come and, don't ask me why I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to add just a little bit of texture to Morro Bay rock. It just looks a little too flat to me, but I don't want to give it too much. I definitely don't want to go below my water line. I just want it to have a little bit of feel of not just being a flat surface, just a totally flat thing back there. The real Morro Bay rock has lots of crags and nooks and crannies in it and all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to, whoops, I should do it this way. I'm going to put just a little bit on there. You can just see there's a little bit of something on there, and then I'm going to let it sit. It's gonna give it just a bit of an edge on there. This is an instance where we want to see a hard edge on all of these, and then I'm going to take it away. All right, I think it's set just about long enough, and I'm just gonna go over it a little, ever so slightly. I might have my brush just too wet. As I'm doing this, I didn't keep too many of those hard edges. That's alright. I kept a couple in there. If I dry it off and scrape some lines, something like that, it'll totally be fine. Alright, now our whale. Okay, so our whale is just a slightly different shade of gray. This is a lot of different gray in here. I'm going to make this, trying to make this a little steelier gray. Let's see if I can do that. That looks good. That's just enough of a difference. Oops. So that we can do this. So let's see, up here, well, it's going to be pretty much, I'm sorry, I need to do this to get that top side. This whale is pretty much a solid color through here, right, and down its back. There's the hump, right, and where we need to show a little touch and a little deft. I'm going to take that right down to where he's coming out of the water, or she's coming out of the water, but I'm not going to do that fin, that big pectoral fin right there, because we're going to look at the picture real quick before we do that. There we go. That actually is a nice gray color. I really like that gray color. Payne's gray with a touch of cerulean in there and a touch of azo yellow, or nickel azo yellow. I'm going to change that color just slightly so we can differentiate it. And the fins are always just a little mottled. So we're going to do that on the edges. They always have the little white humps out there, and bumps and knobs and stuff growing on the edge of their fin, and this one too. So this side of it is going to be good, but this back side, it's going to have a bunch of little knobs and some white areas. It's going to look just a bit different. There we go. I'm going to actually just dab a little bit of paint off of there. And before it dries out too much, I'm going to make just real quick some lines on where its throat would be and down its body here. They always have underneath here, underneath their throat, hanging out there, all the lines that go up and down. That's what allows their skin to really expand when they come up and gulp and bite. And now I've got to get it, what seemingly has become my favorite thing here. I'm going to put in some white, and this guy is making a big splash. So I'm going to paint right over him, right around him, just down below, out around. That water is getting everywhere. It's coming out. Let's come on, get some paint on here. Just all around this whale. We've got white water going everywhere. I'm spending a little more time right at the base of the whale right here, because I want to make sure I cover up that area where the whale body, the tail of the whale, meets the water. I just don't want that to be shown. I think that would that wouldn't look good, since the whale's jumping out of this really active water area. You couldn't have a straight line right there. And there we go. This is just crazy water coming off of there. And in a few quick minutes, where are we at? We're at about the 14-minute mark. We've got Morro Bay Rock in the heavy fog with a whale jumping out of the water, breaching right in front of it. I think this one is done. I'm going to sign my name right there in the water, and we're going to call it good. Thanks for coming to visit me in the studio again. I hope you subscribe to my channel. I hope you give a like. I would love to see you back here again painting with me in the studio. Thank you.